Hello everyone, and welcome back to Psychic Celluloid Signals, and welcome to the Halloween special. This episode is going to be a little different in that it's going to be broken into 3 segments. Each of us at Psychic Celluloid Signals has painfully narrowed our list of top films to watch on Halloween to just 5. I just want to give a big disclaimer before we begin. This video is just our list of films we like to watch during Halloween season. They're by no means objectively the best Halloween films, just our favorites. Alright, now I'll present my top 5 films to watch during Halloween. Number 5, Vampire's Kiss. This film is the only comedy on my list, but it might be just as horrifying as the next 4. This film is particularly significant in internet culture, as it's the origin of this meme.
I couldn't think of a more horrible job if I wanted to. And you have to do it. You have to, or I'll fire you. Do you understand? Do you?
Number 4, Trick or Treat. This 2007 film is an anthology featuring 5 creepy tales warning the viewer of the importance of respecting Halloween traditions. Despite being relatively new, this film already feels like a classic. Number 3, Haxan, Witchcraft Through the Ages. Stylistically part documentary and part reenactment, Haxan is a 1922 German expressionist movie depicting pretty insane images of blasphemy and witchcraft for its time. My favorite copy of the film is the 1968 release narrated by beatnik author William S. Burroughs. Number 2, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Freddy returns to terrorize teenagers in their dreams in the 3rd installment of this franchise, but this time they fight back. This film has some awesome music as well. The band Dokken wrote the rockin' theme for this film. Number 1, David Cronenberg's The Fly. The remake of the 1968 classic has 10 times the body horror that the original had. Unlike in the original, the scientist's transformation into a flyman, or as he refers to himself as Brundlefly, is a gradual change. Gradual and grisly. This film initially included another animal combination, which was a monkey cat. This was later cut from the film, as Brundlefly's treatment of the creature led test audience members to no longer empathize with him. Fortunately, you can still satisfy your curiosity and find this horrifying deleted scene on YouTube. In the iconic words of Brundlefly's girlfriend, Veronica, be afraid. Be very afraid. Alright guys, now I'm going to hand it off to Nate for his top 5.
Thanks, Josh. So, to start off my top 5 list, I'm going to start with the movie My Bloody Valentine, which came out in 1981. It's a Canadian slasher movie, as you might already know, but what's cooler is that it's a coal mining killer, and what's cooler than that? Anyways, I always liked my characters with masks, especially gas masks. Something about them are just really cool. But the movie takes place in the Sydney mines of Nova Scotia in Canada. What's especially brutal about this particular flick is that 9 minutes of original footage was cut due to it being too violent and gory. Can you imagine that? How bad must it have been considering the other movies that were out at the time? I mean, the tree rape scene in The Evil Dead made it to theaters. My next pick is Courage the Cowardly Dog. And honestly, you could watch any episode for the holiday season, but one of my favorite villains was always Cats. He always had a very cool persona to him. And also, I can't seem to find the clip, but there's a scene where he cracks his neck right before he's about to fight Courage, and I always thought that was really badass. My next pick is Return of the Living Dead. Did you guys actually know that it's not part of the Romero series? How can that be? Well, actually, it can, and Romero, they say in the movie, changed some of the facts to make his Night of the Living Dead movie. And the zombies are basically invincible, which is what's so scary. You can't kill them. It takes a nuclear bomb, actually, to wipe them out, and then the rain just inevitably brings them back. It's party time. My next movie is Night of the Creeps, which you may not have heard of, but it's a very good movie nonetheless. I actually discovered it on Crackle, and basically, it's a movie that's packed with a lot of inside jokes that horror fans such as myself and you, the viewers, I think would really appreciate. And there's not really much to say other than that, so I say with that, just go ahead and check it out. And last but not least is the film The Thing, which came out in 1982. It was directed by John Carpenter, who is a big fan of the original movie, which came out in the 50s. And a little fun fact is, in the movie Halloween, also directed by Carpenter, one of the characters is watching the original Thing on TV. What's cool about the movie is that it's all practical effects. There's no CGI. And it's so gruesome. Some of these creatures just would give you nightmares. I mean, the part where the guy's stomach turns into a mouth and just chews off the doctor's hands. I mean...
Clear! Clear.
Pretty messed up. Also, one thing that I liked is that the character Windows in the movie is actually the same actor who plays the Fox in The Warriors. Unfortunately, he doesn't make it to the end, but what are you going to do? I would say that's a wrap. I will hand it off to Glenn.
Thanks, man. Here are my top 5 movies to watch on Halloween. Number 5, Frankenstein, 1931. This film, although a science fiction film, which I would has horror elements, stars the iconic Boris Karloff in his pivotal role as the monster Frankenstein creates. This film is perfect for the Halloween season, considering that you see Boris Karloff's Frankenstein mug on almost every other Halloween decoration there is, whether it be cartoony or not. Next, for number 4, is Doom Asylum, 1987. This film is the true trash connoisseur and is truly only notable outside of Z-grade horror fan circles for starring Kristen Davis in her first film role. With that said, if you like your horror films campy to a dangerous degree, with zero acting and lots of awesome gore, this is one for you. I recommend putting it on while you're carving your pumpkins so that you can hack it as the teenagers are hacked through. Next, for number 3, we have The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane. She says she has a father, but we never see him. There's a boy named Mario. Can she trust him? And what about that basement? What's down there? Watch this spooky horror thriller starring Jodie Foster and Martin Sheen to find out. Number 2, Dracula, 1931. This film, starring Bela Lugosi as the aforementioned undead Transylvanian count, is still chilling, not to mention entertaining today. I recommend watching this film with the lights out, only with red candles to illuminate. I also recommend it watching under a full moon on Halloween night, although I don't know if there will be one. Lady in White is the last one, made in 1988. This horror film is my number 1 Halloween film for numerous reasons. See my previous post on the horror website I write for in the link description. And it's one of my favorite horror films of all time. But suffice to say, it's a top-notch ghost story, a coming-of-age story, and perfect to cuddle up to after all the trick-or-treaters are gone. Hey, thank you so much for watching our special Halloween video. If you liked our choices and think this video was cool, let us know by giving us a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more Psychic Celluloid Signals content as it rolls out, and if you'd like to see even more, you can subscribe to our Facebook or Twitter. The links will be in the description.